All right. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everybody. Uh, I'm Arier. I'm joined here with TwoC, and we're, up in the upper bracket of Group V, I guess, between shadyforce and TwoC, Seed 2 versus Seed 4. TwoC had a nice upset last time, I guess, in the first round. TwoC, how are you doing?
I am doing absolutely fantastic this morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, looking forward to this match. Should be a good one. It's very nice people. Shady has been running for a long time. Not exactly sure how long TwoC has been in the random scene already, but Shady's been here since 2018 already, or 2007, late 2017. So yeah,
they've definitely been here a while. Anything you in particular want to see from this stream or this race?
Oof, good question. Just the usual hard standard stuff, I guess. Seeing how people do the escape part with their random weapon, and maybe some early divergence. See how it is to get to the dark world.
As always, especially this being upper bracket, I would like it to be as difficult as possible.
Yeah, Shady in particular, I know he is really good at low percent stuff, so maybe some really early Mafia fights, maybe some Master Sword Trinex, who knows. Seeing some really unusual equipment would be really nice to see, especially considering it is hard standard, very little health, very little safeties.
That's not going to be a good omen for my hope that it's going to be very difficult if we start with sword.
Yeah, that's pretty atypical, isn't it? We don't actually see it that often in standard that we actually get the sword. It does make for easy farming for bombs for the back of escape, so that's nice. I'm sure the runners would like to see it, but it's yeah. Is there anything you're looking for in particular?
I would like. My favorite fight in this game is blind and or Trinex, and I just would like those done with high difficulty. At this point, blind is not going to be. I'm sure both of these runners are going to have no trouble at all with just a regular sword blind.
Yeah, I would assume so. Shady with a nice poke spin there. That's where it's a difficult strat. We saw at the start that they both were already checking out the guard price packs. They found out it was rupees, so there's no need to kill any more extra guards for the hope of bombs. So I guess they're hoping for either some bombs in chests or from the red price pack.
But we still have hope for hammer blind. That was what I am hoping for. Not hammer blind, hammer Trinex.
Yeah, if we're stuck with either Master Sword or Fighter Sword on Trinex, then yeah, Hammer Trinex is a really fun fight.
That bottle is going to make us do a single trip Kakariko, very likely.
Yeah, sometimes if you see runners end up after Lost Woods without either the bottle or the flute, they might choose to go to South Shore or Sahasrara early on. But with the bottle, it usually makes sense to just go straight to Kakariko, but we'll see what they decide to do in the end. Actually, getting a little bullied there.
Full hearted damage at this point. I mean, it's not going to be a big problem. I'm sure Shady has done plenty of one-hit KOs.
Yeah, I think he's done a couple. Yeah, there's nothing, like after Ball and Chain, there's nothing that will outright kill you. And especially with a sword, it's pretty easy to just make sure you can get through room safely, albeit a little bit slower. But even if he's only trailing behind TwoC for a couple of seconds, it's not the end of the world. Like the race is definitely not called at the end of Escape.
Yeah, absolutely. I think without sword, the biggest problem I think is rats sort of have a really high chance of getting away from you, especially the one with a key. Well, against me, not against these runners, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to like rate standard equipment, like the standard weapon by difficulty, then I'm definitely scared if I only have a couple of bombs at the end of escape and still need to get the key rat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if you only start with 3 hearts and, well, bombs do a lot of damage. The best thing you can do is just hold the bomb and stand next to the rat, but if you've already taken a bunch of damage, it's a little riskier. But at least these runners don't have to worry about that.
Wow.
TwoC.
This is so many rupee packets on these enemies. I would not be happy if I was running this.
Yeah, so the snakes are in the same price pack as the green guards.
That would be...
Okay, and the rats give us bombs, so that's really nice. So we don't have to decide after 15 minutes, like, okay, I still don't have gloves. Do I go through escape again or go through the out-of-the-way locations like a Gina or a Zora?
Yeah. But yeah, that's gonna be a huge boon. I would be killing as many rats as I could.
Yeah, exactly. And there, should have got the 4-pack. So no need to farm anymore, I suppose.
Shady did, 2 did not.
Ah, there we go. Very nice. Alright, so around a 6-minute escape for both of them. Considering all the extra checks that we have to do compared to NMG, that's very nice. It's pretty much the golden standard, even in Randomizer.
Yeah.
Quick little map check. Looks like crystals aside from the desert. Across the blue pendant. Yeah, there's a little decision point to be making here. Do we check the tree pools and go check lumberjack? So you see you see TwoC delaying it. Shadyforce is immediately going to check it. Just a little bit of insurance that you already know beforehand whether it's going to be required or not for the item. But usually lately you see people doing it after you find the boots because you're going to be able to combine it with bonk rocks anyway.
That was a hard piece.
Yeah. But it is the added benefit of being able to check like 2 different tree pools and the bush crabs if necessary. But considering we already had plenty of rupees and bombs, it seemed less appetizing to me this time. But
yeah, I don't know that I would check the tree pools at all, to be honest, with this much money this early on.
yeah, I don't think it's a bad play per se, but just having the insurance of knowing beforehand is nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, so we're going to get our first real dense check in Kakariko.
Wow, that blind's hut is basically every tree pool you could possibly want.
Yeah, not much. I guess we have enough Zora money for now, so that's good.
So we're full on bombs, we are full on money, basically. I can't imagine anything we would want money for at this point.
Yeah, there's like maybe if you want to refill on a bottle, but we'll be finding more soon enough anyway, most likely.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure like if you're over 700, then you have plenty for the rest of the game. The second bottle and a mushroom.
I do like a really early mushroom, because then you actually do have to make a choice about whether or not you're going to turn in that mushroom or save it to get to talk to Batman.
Yeah. It's a hard decision to make. I usually found out like turning it in early anyway, and then just hope to find powder at some point. Fake powdering has not often been a boon to me. Wow, another 300 pack. Okay, well, we can stop now.
I think it has been a boon to me exactly once in one race I have ever done, and every other time it has just wasted my time.
Yeah, pretty much.
This has been a very, very boring Kakariko, actually.
It's very dry, yeah. In this case, would you just go to race game blind? Just
I mean,
assume something's there at that point?
Well, you have all of South Shore, which almost certainly has something.
It's just one of those weird quirks that I have. It's like, well, okay, I haven't found anything yet. At that point, I just assume there's going to be something, Kakariko. Let's just do it blind. Well, I mean, I would have gotten a boomerang out of it, so it would be worth.
I would love for South Shore to be completely nothing as well, and for the play to be turning in the mushroom.
Just like TwoC is doing. It's I like the play.
Yeah, I love this play. You got to do something to put yourself against what like the quote unquote meta is.
It's a nice setup as well, just boosting yourself into the edge of the screen with a bomb.
Yeah.
Well, works out.
And that is a serious reward. It's going to be a good 3-4 minutes before Shady gets to turn in that mushroom, I think.
Yeah, and depending on what he finds, he might even be led away from the area for quite a bit, maybe with a bow or something. But I assume it'll be drawn there at some point, and it does look like it will be a part of the Dark World Axis. So hello, there's the other one.
So it's not quite Dark World Access, but Aga's looking pretty dead.
Yeah, very likely. Barring some really weird pyramid shenanigans. Very cooperative.
That was a very, very nice bomb throw.
And there will be, or would be, the Dark World Axis for 2C, but he's heading over to Agina, so he's being very thorough with his early Light World checks.
I do like this play with the entirety of Kakariko being absolutely nothing. You have to assume that you have to be thorough. He is slightly wrong in this particular case, but I still like the play.
Yeah, just because, well, who knows, it might even work out. I don't mind it at all, especially if you... Maybe with both hammer and the gloves being available, I would not go for it, because you wouldn't really assume it will be a Aga at that point. But in general, I do like being far early on, yeah.
I mean, he's looking for one very, very specific item, and that item... If mushroom was one of the items, then, like, my mind would be, well, I gambled and won. If I gamble and win again, I'm going to be really far ahead.
Yeah, that's fair. Alright, Shady going for the fake flipper checks. We'll hopefully be able to see what some Lake High Island as well. Just loads of money. Looking to skip Hobo for now.
And that is Dark World for TwoC.
Yeah, immediately saving quitting, just leaving Ice Road Cave for now. We've been seeing that a lot this tournament so far. Just people skipping Ice Road Cave once they have more dense locations.
It makes perfect sense. It did not make sense for Shady to do, but it makes a lot of sense for Two to be doing here.
Yeah. Alright. Thieves and Ice, our Pyramid Fairy Crystals, and then Swamp and Skullwood's the rest of the pendants.
And a mirror in Hype Cave, so that's already a very, very Hype Cave.
Alright, Shady will have to choose between two of the fetch quests or the eastern area. So yeah, mirror and book for 2C. Might be able to check Bambo's tablet. Does look to skip that for now.
I feel like the best thing that could happen for Shady here is that this this shovel pans out, because 2C is not getting that anytime soon.
Yeah, very unlikely. Oh, okay.
Well, here's the thing. We do know that Swamp is a pendant, so it is possible, and maybe not in logic, but it's certainly possible that those flippers are not going to be required at all.
Yeah, it's for sure possible, but I mean, if they are required, then it's going to be a long time, because it's an indirect flippers from Zora. It's quite something. So Shady might be trying to bank on those later, especially with being able to find the mirror in Hype Cave. Swamp is right next door. It's not no hookshot yet, but who knows what Shady decides to do.
If I were Shady, I would be clearing crystal dungeons as soon as I could.
Yeah.
So running as fast as I can to Thieves Town here, and then immediately.
Yeah,
I think Thieves Town is the only one he can actually clear right this moment.
yeah, and I would agree if Shady would be feeling normal about the race, but he's set to last location the gloves with not turning in the mushroom yet. 2C was probably just going to make reasonable decisions, maybe clear out the front of Skullwoods, then go into Thieves, clear Visions for Outcasts, and then saunter over somewhere else.
It's really going to depend on where he is, what is in Thieves Town and Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if myths are over there, then the entire world is going to be wide open. Can technically also go into Death Mountain, what has the lamp. So that's quite a dense location as well, together with Hera.
Yeah, he should be able to finish Hera. I'm not seeing anything that would stop him currently.
So yeah, so in the first 20 minutes, definitely would say that 2C has a little bit of an advantage, just being able to pair checks a little bit better. Unlikely to double dip Eastern Palace at this rate.
I mean, it's definitely not over, but like this is a very big advantage, and Shady is going to need to find something like a vanilla bow, or essentially this Eastern Palace is really going to need to pan out for him.
Yeah, just something that allows him to like progress a bit more efficiently. Something like boots or flute would also help, even if it's not like directly progression. Well, even though flute probably is, but you know, it's something that makes up the odds. But I think those were those only 2 items so far? 2 hearts? Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense for Shady to have gone into Eastern, because especially without the gloves, it takes a bit longer to get back there. You can't just take the bottom route into the stairs to Eastern. Yeah, it's just a little bit of a shame that the order he did his checks in didn't pan out.
Do you remember where the lantern was? It was Hype Cave, right?
I think it was on Stumpy.
That makes sense.
Just a bunch of love in Eastern. So Shady now has to choose between Agina and a mushroom. Yeah, it looks to be the mushroom. So that rate, he'll have to decide what he does: go straight to Village of Outcasts, or do Hype Cave first, and then once he finds the mirror, see what his decision is going to be.
But he's got to know he's behind. I mean, they've had the mushroom. Like, it's been the only close to progression item they've had access to very early.
Yeah, it's probably not feeling good. Like, I'm sure that he knows that there's a chance his opponent did the same thing, but in the back of his mind, it's probably like, oh no, oh no, oh no. Yeah, it seems to be following the same trend as TwoC.
The upside is that TwoC has not found any progression in Thieves' Town or Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, has he done all the surrounding tricks yet? I don't think so. So there might be something around, but there's nothing really enticing yet, no. Did find Half Magic. I mean, it's a very nice item, especially in hard standard, where you're lacking things like mill upgrades and a whole bunch of hearts.
Yeah, definitely. But
yeah, it's. I mean, it's not gonna progress him somewhere else. That's for sure. Okay, Shitty does skip Swamp.
Does the logic allow for the small key to be in the big chest?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm assuming that's what we have here.
Yeah. Yeah, we're running with 100% inventory logic instead of 100% locations, so that allows for things like the Hera small key to be in the Hera basement and the Thieves' Town small key to be in the big chest.
Pretty clean blind. And we have our first crystal.
Yeah. Pretty quick. The expected Thieves' Town first crystal. It's usually either that or Eastern Palace, depending on on the early items that line up. Okay, so TC cleaning up the remaining tracks, finds Samaria, so that's nice. Helps with even with some other dungeons like Icebreaker and Ice Palace, Diver Down in Swamp.
hopefully well, actually, hopefully swamp is required, because that's the other way that Shady's going to get it back in this race is if those flippers really pan out for him.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like, if it's going to be required, then TwoC's probably not going to find the flippers for a while. Like you said, because the shovel is such an out of way location, and then he's already cleared the surrounding tracks. So until really feels that needs to follow fewer dense locations, then it's going to be a little while. Even if he does find the shovel. Oh, that's a nasty overall death on TwoC's side.
I was about to say, rather than taking that mirror in the second part there, I feel like I might have taken the full, well, heart refill by taking a death.
Yeah, it would have been a little bit safer, be it slower. I think TwoC is just going to give up on Skullwoods for now and go into Death Mountain. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, 100%. Skullwoods is only 2 checks, and like taking the extra time to have to go all the way back there for them doesn't really make a lot of sense.
No, might as well wait and hope that something like Fire Rod is in there, because it's not even guaranteed that either of the items are in the front.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a very nice sword to get. So that's one item. Was there something in the Vanilla Key chest?
No, I don't believe so.
Alright. So the other item is still outstanding.
The big key chest in Skullwoods was in fact big key, funny enough.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, there's the flute.
Very exciting.
Doesn't open up anything yet, but it's so nice to be able to just get to locations a lot more easily.
Definitely.
Does entice TwoC to maybe go into the Ice Rod Cave and the flipper checks as well. So Shady didn't go to the Vanilla Key chest, so we don't know what's in the big chest yet. So that's going to be a little of a bit of mystery.
They do pick up their Samaria. That's got to be a sigh of relief, seeing the big key there.
Yeah. If you find a small key there, do you think it would be a reasonable decision to just leave and hope to find Hookshot on East of Mountain or something, and then come back later?
You are wasting way more time than you would save with Hookshot by leaving this dungeon at this point, I think.
Yeah, you're probably right. Well, okay.
Also, you can just do that.
Okay, TwoC's not feeling comfortable with the lag in this room. It's probably just going to decide to drop from the next floor. So yeah, that hookshot does completely open up Swamp once Shady finds it. It's I would start feeling pretty interested in that dungeon at that point. gonna be a while before Shady gets there, though.
I mean, is it? I feel like it's going to be the pretty clear next step after Thieves Town, because it's the only other dungeon that we do have access to.
Yeah, I meant more time-wise. Like Thieves Town is still a few minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's probably going to be the next check. Barring maybe Shady going to Graveyard Ledge or something, but it's so far out of the way. Maybe it just feels, okay, well, Death Mountain's very dense, let's just go there. It has a crystal, it makes sense.
Did we find the compass in Hera? Do we have that?
I think so, yeah.
So there is something in the basement, and 2C is not getting it.
I think so? Yeah, I can confirm that there's still an item in here. But it makes sense to maybe come back there later.
Yeah, I don't super hate skipping that item. That's a good, minute and a half just to get one item.
Yeah, and after Paradox, can always bomb jump over and then maybe combine the basement together with Spy Cave. They do have 2 potions. Just being able to get Spy Cave out of the way really isn't bad. Even if it costs you a potion or 2. And they have plenty of money and the flute at this point.
Yeah.
So we're still missing the usual suspects, the bow and the ice round.
Yeah. The things that we're always missing.
And especially if the rest of Paradox seems to be empty here. Yeah. Okay, Susie just leaves. At this point, he is kind of running out of the nice checks. At this point, it's all like, there's half of Eastern, half of Pod. There's the fake flipper checks. But
and pretty soon it feels like it's going to be Swamp Palace, and that is the green pendant. So
no,
the
green.
No,
Right?
You're right.
Like also Pendant Desert, which might be boots locked, so nothing feels great at this point. Yeah, Shady does look like... Oh, it might just be able to mirror there. Like check Bumper Ledge and then mirror and climb Death Mountain. That's actually a nice way to do that. Yeah, I really like this.
Yeah, this is really efficient. It gets some knowledge out of the way that, I mean, Shady doesn't know this, but 2C has no idea what's on Bumper Ledge.
So I would assume the fake flipper checks are coming after this. Especially if you immediately go to Icefield Cave. It feels just like a mental connection. If you do one, might as well flute to the other as well.
Yeah.
But it does look like it's going to be Pod and Eastern. Okay.
Just breadth, a number of checks. This is the statistical play. There are so many checks here.
Yeah. The potential upside is really big if Bo is in either of the dungeons. Of course, we know it's not an Eastern, but if it is in pod, then just being able to combine the two is really nice. But if it's not in pod, then TwoC is basically like putting himself into 2 double dips. Also hasn't done Sahasrara. Yeah, that doesn't really make sense. I forgot about the Sahasrara check as well.
But yeah, Shady, I feel like has to hope that. I think if you're a Shady fan, you have to hope that Swamp Palace has something and that Shady goes for it.
Yeah. And I do think it's likely, especially with the way that he found the flippers. You might feel that that's like one of his main outs. And again, aside from Swamp, he also doesn't have a lot of great checks left anymore. After East of Mountain. Okay, well, Pod is immediately bow locked, so probably going to Potion Glitch over to the right side. So if one of the bows is locked behind the other one, there's still a chance, but...
Yeah, this is looking like Potion Glitch.
Shady also just dropping down.
So what's funny is TwoC had to actually be very careful. There was a fairy right there, and he had killed all of the enemies. If he had accidentally hit that fairy, he would have full hearts and full magic and would not have been able to use potion.
Yeah, would have had to blow himself up with a bomb again, wasting more time. So yeah, that was pretty funny indeed. Okay, Shady evening up the score, 2 crystals apiece. TwoC getting bullied a little bit.
But he made it through.
Yeah, skipping on the rest of the front. So there's still... Did he get... Oh, he got both items in the front. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Shady completely skipping out on the rest of Hera. And by the rest of, I mean the basement of Hera. Which, again, makes sense, that there's a lot more items here, and there are a whole heck of a lot of items in Swamp Palace. If he decides to go there.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting that both of them are playing a little bit more aggressively after how... yeah, how do you say it? Secure they were in the start, both of them being very full cleary, and now skip the the middle chest and Skullwoods, skip the basement of Hera, all those small things.
That looks like a good lineup. Yep.
Very nice. So TwoC will probably go for Easter now as well. But what would you do after that?
There are so many single checks now. I feel like the Meyer area has no. He can't get there. He doesn't have the gold gloves yet.
Yeah, desert is available, but
That
also
doesn't look particularly appetizing. He can finish out Skull Woods, but again, that's not even 2 guaranteed checks. It's just 2 checks, possibly. He can't get into Ice Palace. He can't get into Mire.
yeah, nothing feels great at this point. It's definitely the advantage that 2C had early is has diminished at this point.
Absolutely. But if Shady follows in 2C's footsteps, it's gonna come right back because 2C is running out of places that aren't Zora to go.
Yeah. But if if it isn't Swamp, then it's a big question. It's like, okay, well, what of those single locations is it going to be? Shady going into Desert now, that's a little surprising. Oh, it doesn't actually do Desert yet. Just
Well,
at first, yeah.
And Shady hasn't checked it yet, so. There's got to be an inkling in the back of his mind that, like, he's missing something. And we happen to know that he's not actually missing anything, but it is very funny.
It is a pretty weird loadout to be having at this time, and especially the order that things were found. I think if I were in Shady's footstep at this point, in this situation, I probably would have done Swamp into Bombos into these checks. It just would have flowed a bit. Oh wow.
Yeah, there's too many checks in Pod, and
it's a crystal.
It's a crystal, like. He's gonna end up double dipping it, but it's a crystal, so we guess we go there.
Yeah, 2C doing the flipper checks now. It's pretty surprising. I didn't expect it, but maybe he's just not feeling good enough and feels like, okay, I have to just decide to. Yeah, hard to say. They can't waste time doing another pendant dungeon after already having done Eastern and full clearing, or like doing the front of Skullwoods.
The thing is that, like, 2C is probably going. Ooh, Bombos. That is Ice Palace available.
Not without the mitts.
Oh, right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Shady also makes sense. I mean, you've doubled down at this point, right? You've committed.
Absolutely. But 2C is going to go to Zora, get that. Well, he's going to go to Zora and he's going to get that.
The shovel.
The shovel, and he's not necessarily going to immediately turn that in. If Zora was just Shady running into the problem that I actually described earlier.
Yep. There we go. Yeah, I like how this thing. It is so much easier to make decisions when you're not actually the one playing.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
It's so much harder to actually weigh out all the options properly when you also need to execute and play, and don't have the added pressure. But I think if you are running out of checks and then find something like this, then it's like, well, I might as well follow it right now.
Yeah, if 2C turns in this this to get flippers and then immediately goes to Swamp Palace, that's going to be. I feel like it's got to be Swamp Palace at this point. I'm not really seeing anywhere else that our progression could be.
Yeah, unless it's one of those unlucky out of the way locations, like Scobit's big chests or Hera basement. It would feel really bad, but like with the way the seed has shaken out so far, it's like, well, it kind of makes sense. Looks like Shady was a little bit confused about the key logic impound. Oh no. Yeah. Unfortunate.
That is a very difficult bomb jump, to be fair.
Yeah, for sure. It feels so bad when you overshoot it every single menu. Alright. Got there. 2C's going to Swamp. Makes sense. No other flipper checks left.
As always, it's the highest density of checks, so you wanted to go there.
Highest checks per minute.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to find a Mitsun here, but Bo would also make sense. Would probably feel especially, yeah, it feels especially bad for both of them at this rate.
Yeah, I feel like both of them have to feel incredibly behind. 2C, like, you don't want to be almost last check getting what is progression into a pendant dungeon. And Shady, you don't want to be having access to a pendant dungeon for a very long time and then only actually checking it much later.
Yeah.
But it looks like that's where Shady's going, so it's I would say within a few minutes of each other.
Yeah, they both have a few checks that the other hasn't done. So it looks like
Go ahead.
It looks like 2C does have a little bit of an advantage still, especially with bombos on Hobo. Shady hasn't really found anything that 2C will reasonably go back to anytime soon either. Oh, that's it's going to be a little bit of a time save for Argus.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of a time save. I feel like the difference between Master Sword and Tempered Sword Argus is almost worth getting this Tempered Sword by itself in the base game.
Yeah. There's a small chance that if myths are somewhere here, 2C might just bill out, not even do Bombo Tablet. And in that case, it's going to add up really quickly.
That was super nice, that setup.
Yeah, it's really good. It feels so much more reliable than the bomb setup as well.
Yeah. TwoC is getting bullied in this all the way down to 5 hearts.
It's a lot of chip damage. Still has the blue pot, if necessary.
doesn't feel great to have to blue pot in a pendant dungeon to beat the boss.
That's for sure.
Especially a boss like Argus, who doesn't even need magic to beat.
Yeah, with the... I mean, they found a green pot in here as well, so it's not that they are in desperate need to keep the magic potions.
Yeah, that's fair.
2C didn't check the bottom chest, did he?
No, he did. It wasn't anything, but he
Oh, okay. I missed out on that then. I thought he went the top route into the key door and left this for after left side, but just my bad. Alright, got there. There's the mids. Let's see if Shady does left side first as well. Doesn't look like it yet.
Shady completely skipping left side, and I mean, it's the right play. There is nothing there.
Yeah. And if Shady does bail out straight after finding the mids, which would make sense. Wow. Doing the fast setup with that sprite. At least waterfall check is still a very quick check. I'm not sure about Argus though. Okay.
I mean, no matter how slow Argus is, it's going to be significantly faster for Shady than it is for 2C.
Yeah. Yeah, this fight with Master Sword is a pain. Yeah, and we're all tied up.
Yeah, well,
Almost.
almost. 2C has one check over Shady. And it is an important item, but, like, I would say this is pretty much tied.
Yeah. The question is... Okay. So 2C is going to get his tempered now. So then it really is the bomb boost difference. Probably makes sense to check both the Myra and Rock medallions that are necessary.
So Ice Palace is going to be open to 2C, and not open to Shady.
Yeah. And Ice Palace does look like a very tempting check right now. It's a fast clear to get our...
Oh, Meyer is that Bombos, so Meyer's also going to be available to 2C.
Alright. Well... Could be a while before Shady gets there with all the mids checks that are open now.
We still have Fire Rod and Ice Rod and Bow to go, and they have just an incredibly high chance of being in one of those. One of those has a pretty high chance of being in one of these overworld mids checks that Shady seems to be doing.
Yeah, I like checking the front of Desert here as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you're here, and it's much faster to do than it would be to go the front door.
Yeah. Yeah, both of them now making the plays that are very reasonable for considering their current loadout. Okay.
We do know that cape is completely Not required.
We haven't seen Spike Cave yet, have we?
We have not seen Spike Cave. Oh, that is a very good find for 2C. That was Fire Rod in Ice Palace.
Alright, that Bombo is really being required.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Shady having found both items in deserts. So probably is going to check East F Mountain now. Check what he needs for Turtle Rock.
Yep.
And then I wouldn't be surprised to see the Smith Chain and Hammer Pegs before checking Hobo, at the very least.
Yeah. Normally I would say Hobo is a very, very good check to get on the way to Pod, but I mean, he's already checked Pod, so I don't see him checking that anytime soon.
Yeah. And it's also hard to link together with Pyramid at this point, because he's probably waiting to do Pyramid until he has beaten Ice, together with the Pyramid Fairy. It's all a little awkward at this point.
I mean, this entire seed has been incredibly awkward.
That's for sure, yeah. Okay.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Turtle Rock being Bombos as well, and then Bo being in Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there we have it. Uh-oh. And in that case, it's probably going to be really good for 2C.
Yeah. 2C is, again, gotten the lead again.
Almost very clean fight. Small Bob didn't lose too much time though.
So the big thing, Bo can be on. No, Bo is progressive here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Bo is progressive.
So I feel like the best thing that could happen for Shady is we have one of the bows in Ganon's Tower and the other one on the pedestal. And
yes,
both Desert Palace and Skullwoods are required. Oh, even if that happens, 2C still has a huge advantage with that Fire Rod.
Yeah, I would agree. At this point, Shady needs Bo to be in a really weird location. If it is in Turtle Rock, then it's going to be a long time before Shady gets that.
It needs to be one of, honestly, it needs to be one of these three locations: Smith, Hammer Pegs, or Purple Chest, because 2C is not going to these locations anytime soon. He has 2 dungeons available to him.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that's not. Oh no, I don't need that. I already know I don't need that. It's really unfortunate. Yeah, so the positive thing, like Chad is saying, is that Shady already having the Ice Rod, it's like, it does give a lot of more security that at least that's not going to be the long hunt, especially after he finds the Fire Rod. Like 2C is still looking for both the bow and the Ice Rod, so it probably makes him be a lot more thorough than he might need to be.
I do not like this dip into Desert Palace here, honestly.
Yeah, I think at this point you might as well just immediately full clear Mario first. But it's probably not going to matter too much. Yeah. Smith Chain also not panning out. Wait.
Oh,
Okay, so
he's redipping.
no,
Oh,
no,
no.
This
No,
is looking like Hobo into Pyramid into Catfish.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And that Hobo is going to get a lot of progression.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he immediately cuts off these checks after finding bombos. Just go straight into eyes. It's probably the right decision in this case.
I'm trying to think in what circumstance it would be the wrong decision, and I'm not really coming up with much, even if the bow is on one of these checks.
Okay. Well,
just because of the being a progressive bow, there's a really high chance that we have a bow in Turtle Rock.
yeah, I'm a little surprised by this. Especially because, like, 2 dungeons opened up, Ice and Mire. And with Ice, Pyramid Fairy opens up. So it would be really good to combine that with Pyramid if necessary.
Shady might have...
Okay, is Vicky going to be in the cutscene chest? Mire here? In TwoC shoes, I would, after full clearing this, expect him to do Dark Death Mount and finish off Turtle Rock because he finds Ice Rod in there. After that, probably Pyramid Fairy together with Pyramid.
Oh yeah, Pyramid Fairy and into Catfish, almost certainly. Here.
Then it's going to be finishing off Bandit Dungeons, I guess, and then it would be Ped. We haven't seen Graveyard Ledge yet.
Oh, we haven't gotten Boots, which is the big incentive to do Graveyard Ledge because of the extra Boots checks over there.
Yeah.
Such a weird seed.
Yeah, and then there's, of course, the slim chance that it's either of the skipped items in Hera Basement, Skull's Big Chest. So a few little question marks over here. At least I don't have to worry about the other player having done fake powder.
Right, absolutely.
Very nice icebreaker on Shady's side.
And now the entire seed is opened up. Well, mostly opened up for Shady, and the question is it going to be enough?
Yeah.
Little muscle memory there, pulling the tongue.
It took me a long time to get rid of that, to be honest. So used to just doing that room a certain way. It's like, oh, that's what the switch is for. It's just for opening the door. Yeah, so crystal-wise, Shady's going to be like a dungeon behind. So in order to make that up, TwoC's going to have to do quite a bit of overworld.
We still have a huge question mark with where the where that bow is.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a slightly weird shitty fight as well. Not a lot of health. No cape or burner.
And no bow. This is
Yeah.
This is my nightmare. I do in fact hate this fight without any bow or anything else.
Yeah. Has the potion ready just in case.
I don't know that it's just in case. I think it's because he knows he's going to need it.
Okay. It was a little scary.
Absolutely. But I feel like this fight always is when you're doing it without arrows.
Alright, simultaneous boss kills. Aside from TwoC's slight disaster on the overworld, there's been nothing bad so far. It's been really solid execution on both sides. Even without the boots. Alright, TwoC clearing checkerboard. That's a big question mark what he's going to do. Shady is going to do Mire as well.
If we're going with past precedent, I feel like 2C has got to go to Dark Death Mountain and clear that out, which is going to give him Ice Rod. It does not really make sense to go into Turtle Rock without Ice Rod when you haven't cleared out Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah. Just also gaining the knowledge whether or not you need another medallion. It's very big. He's going to find out that he's just going to need the bow in the end as well.
Yeah. So just about it. I would say maybe not even a full dungeon behind Shady Forces, just because 2C does in fact have to do these overworld checks.
Yeah, agreed. This took me maybe like 3-4 minutes, I think.
Yeah. Which, I mean, given where we were earlier, is incredibly good.
Yeah, for sure. But it's going to be hard to make that up, especially without like a boots difference or something. Shady execution, like from his energy experience, is really strong, but it's really hard to really showcase that or gain anything from that without the footwear. So I would say that if the bow does turn out to be in Turtle Rock, that it's going to be really hard for Shady, the amount of time that he's behind right now.
Absolutely.
Alright, so here it is, the big question. Is Bo going to be in here or not?
I'm having a hard time thinking of anywhere that Bo could be that is advantageous to Shady. Simply because even if it is in the overworld, Shady has checked a lot more of the overworld, but sorry, not the overworld. If I guess Hera Basement is the only place that Shady would check before 2C, possibly.
At this rate, yeah, probably. But Shady might even go back to Swamp left side before doing her basement.
Right. Do we have a count on how many actual items were on Swamp left side?
No. Actually, no.
I feel like it was 2, actually. But that's completely a complete guess.
I know Shady was hesitating about leaving. Oh, it was 1 item, according to chat. Okay.
Okay, if it's 1 item, I'm pretty sure Hera Basement is actually going to be a faster check, especially coming from Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Very clean, worst room in the game for 2C.
It's definitely top 3.
But I guess non-boss room, because nothing is worse than Nasia's room.
I still think Mummy Statue is worse, personally.
Which room again?
In Skullwoods, the one where you have to push the statue onto the switch or pull it.
Oh, I've done so much inverted that room has become sort of second nature.
Okay, front of Turtle Rock, nothing yet. Shady also grabbing the potion in advance. Oh, already drinks it, interesting. Oh, very nice.
Very
Killing
nice.
Killing everything in 3 spins is what you want, especially without the bow.
I think that's 100% because of the early potion.
Yeah, just having the confidence to be able to go for the normal strat helps so much in that case. Yeah. Shady following. Yeah, it does look to be about 4 minutes at this rate.
Where is this bow?
Or either of them, really, eh?
Like, this is not an item you expect to be your go mode item. Solely because it's progressive.
It's one part of it.
That's just mean. Giving you this single arrow before we give her bow.
There is a unique item in Turtle Rock.
Do you remember that, like, stretch of time where every single race was just everyone checking every clue because they had the chance of being just a lot of really, really important information?
Yeah. I thought it was an interesting meta change. That's for sure. It would definitely. No, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah, that's going to be really hard for Shady to make up.
I don't necessarily agree with even continuing to open chests at this point.
I mean, you needed at least one key.
Ah, right. Okay.
Not sure what he might have been looking for with the last check, but I mean, if you're busy anyway. Yeah, because he's full on health, has half magic. Didn't know where Cape was. Well, it could have been Boots. Could have been Boots. That actually makes sense.
Yeah, Boots saves a lot of time.
That may be necessary for Gans Tower.
A Boots Lock GT would be super hype.
Yeah. TwoC being smart, playing a little bit safe on the last phase. Just make sure he gets knocked back a little bit further.
Shady's sprite has been in the game for so long, and it still tricks me up watching it.
It's perfect. Shady is such a troll in that sense. He either picks this or the invisible sprite, and every time it's... How can you play with it? Can't wait until the day that Shady decides he doesn't need a handicap.
This is going to be the quickest pair of dungeons you'll ever see. I think if you blink, you're going to miss it.
Yeah. Yeah, TwoC still has the key, right? Because he didn't use one because of the Hammer Young.
Yeah.
So can just open the bridge chest. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Picks up the extra health just because it gives you fewer menus, or at least fewer quick swaps after the statue. Nice mimic strat.
Yep. It just feels like everything has gone TwoC's way. If either of the either Meyer or Tortorok had been Ether, this would be a completely different race.
Yeah, very true. The fact that both the dungeons were bombos were pretty rough in this sense.
But again, we still hold out hope for Boots Locked Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, if we want an exciting conclusion, or at least exciting GT, then suddenly something we're hoping for. Maybe a very different GT route could switch things up a little bit as well. But in general, it's going to be hard. Shady needs to be careful. Okay. Gonna use the game. Played safe.
I feel like opening the map at that point might have actually been faster.
Does skip the last chest. Like, don't need to look for boots. You gotta keep going.
I think he knows. I think he knows that he's got to get the let out.
Oh no. One heart.
He'll be fine. He still has a potion, I think.
I think it just has a green one. They both used the blue one at Vidi and the red one earlier for the sequence break and pod.
Right, and we saw a fairy in a bottle, so he definitely doesn't have a fourth bottle because we did not pick that up.
Yeah.
It was a very, very clench kill on Trinex there.
Just a little bit.
I could feel the hesitation in Shady as he was just trying to make sure he didn't get hit.
Better to lose a few seconds than to lose 4 minutes and having to go through the rock again.
Yeah.
Smarter TwoC to grab some extra arrows because it's unlikely that we're going to find a lot before we enter GT, and there's no guarantee that there's any 10 arrow chests left.
Perfect Armos Knights, as to be expected.
That's probably the worst part about having bow as go mode, because you have to do bottom and eastern, and you just like lose 18 arrows. And if you then also need to do ice armors in GT, it's really tight.
Yeah.
Right, so as we got the last crystal on 2C's side, I guess there's this minigame that we play. There's between 1 and 22 there's 22 locations which the big key can be. Type any number between 1 and 22. And where you expect the big key to be. And you'll be able to win points.
Get on the leaderboards. Be right on the internet, I believe is the biggest prize you can get.
And who would want anything else at this rate?
Do you have a preference for where you want it to be? Because I know I do.
I mean, it's going to be either 1, 3, or 7, depending on their route.
Yeah, I am hoping against hope that it is on that torch. Because I feel like we're gonna get some angry slashes if it's on the torch.
It would be hilarious. Yeah, usually I would go for 14 because it's, I don't know, it's my favorite number for some reason. But in this case,
I like 17. just because it's generally speaking at the end of whatever the person's route is.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh.
Alas. We are now in go mode.
We don't even know what it was. That's the worst part. Could be anything.
TwoC going with Dark Magician, it looks like.
Yeah, either that or like I think it has some different names. Where you also cut off after the right side and go back left. It's like I hear it being referred to as the brain route or the pink magician route.
I do like this route. I feel like TwoC knew that the only real possibility of not being in go mode were those boots, which would have been why they checked the extra chest in Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
So you want to see exactly where you stand as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. It doesn't really change anything. Like you're going to either find the boots or not. But just having the calm of mind in that sense, it's definitely important.
The big thing is that like if you go like full right side, like all the way down, and you find midway through you find the big key, you're going to have a serious problem. If it just so happens that torch has your big key.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know what I was saying.
If the big key's on the torch and you find the boots, then you immediately know you can mirror out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant.
We got there. To see deciding not to use the boomerang strats. So for good old cane blocks.
I feel like boomerang strats are a little bit more difficult with the red boomerang. I know I'm very much more used to using the blue boomerang there.
Yeah, the red boomerang does play a lot differently. Alas, neither of them did race game. Okay, so Shady now also making his way over to GT. I think unless he goes straight to tall room, it's going to be really hard.
I feel like Shady's going to need to be going full left side, and we're going to probably need at least one fall to Ganon out of 2C, and I do not see that happening.
Yeah, it's going to need a disaster. And we don't want to see disasters. The only disaster I wanted to see was the big key. Was the big key on the torch. Was all I wanted.
That was a very clean bomb jump over that tile.
Yeah.
Not really something you see very often because you usually have boots by now.
It's going to be a pretty tricky bomb jump as well. Does make it very nice. The last missing medallion. Still, so many items are missing. It's kind of crazy.
Well, to be fair, we do know where a lot of these items are. We know where the cape is, and where Ether is, and where the other boomerang is. But yeah, we are missing a lot of items.
Yeah, just between powder boots, Bucknut.
Yeah.
There's. Oh. Okay. Well, that would have been really. It would have been really funny.
That was 20? Is that right?
I think it was 19.
It's 2022, right?
Yeah, and 22 is usually tall room. So it was 19, 20, 21.
Right. Yeah. Said 19. You're right. Absolutely. He's like 2 arrows remaining. Don't think he needs arrows for anything else, though.
Better be safe than sorry. It's nice to have the option to use arrows in Gauntlet, especially in the first room. Shady decided to not do full, like to not do the right side, just this hope room into the left. It's making up a little bit over a minute, I think. But still,
That's assuming he doesn't mirror here
that's true. Yeah.
and take the exact same route that 2C did.
Grabs the arrows just in case.
I mean, he's gonna have a lot more arrows than 2C does. Turns out that this routing is probably the best that Shady can do.
Yeah, given where the big key is, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, considering no boots, Gauntlet becomes a lot harder without boots, and it was actually a really clean Gauntlet from 2C.
Yeah.
That's pretty rough RNG.
Wow, that was, I think, 2 short hops by that particular landmo.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really hard to one cycle that, and even the second cycle wasn't pretty RNG. Does need to be careful on these bridges.
It is. You get so used to having boots at this particular point. Like, this bridge is actually a lot more dangerous than anyone gives it credit for, just because we always have boots.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I was a little bit afraid there, but does manage to not be spawn GT, so we can all sigh a breath of relief. 2C doesn't care, doesn't want to look for boots for the last few screens of the game.
I mean, it really does not save any time at this point. You're going to lose a lot more time than you save by looking for the boots.
Oh yeah, I definitely don't blame him. I just want the boots. I just want to know where they are.
I feel like we are going to be forever disappointed.
Oh, well. All right then. Well.
Immediately makes me a liar. Thank you, 2C.
Officially worst seed of the tournament. Okay, well now I hope that we at least can see dash trance on Ganon. Really unfortunate slash there. I was really close to getting 2 hits on that cycle as well. But a solid 4 cycle, can't complain at all.
Yeah, I think it was 1-2, 1-2.
Alright, on to the last fight of the game. Stride and spin. Nice phase 1. I ever want.
Absolutely.
Hey, he listened. I think those were 12. Yeah, very nice. Nice 1-1.
Yep, incredibly clean here. Now just 24 glitch strikes on Ganon.
Hopefully just 12 after this phase.
I never keep count. I just go until he's dead.
Huh? That's all you need to do. Oh, does manage to miss the spin. But it looks like doesn't know how to just go into triples. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, that's a hard work to get. But with this cycle, he finishes it off. Stays undefeated in the tournament so far as the 4th seed. So put some GGs in the chat for 2C. Really nice run. Yeah, that was quite the seed. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, let's see if we can get 2C in here.
I think Shady saw that that 2C finished and decided to go for the Molder bounce. Wanted redemption for Ace earlier match. First try. There we go.
Very nice.
Didn't need 36 tries this time. Oh, but he didn't get the boots!
No, he didn't. Well, to be fair, like, that room can go very poorly if you don't have boots, but Shady was obviously very, very prepared for it.
Yeah. Looks like we're joined by 2C. GG's, nice run.
Hi, hello, can you hear me?
Yep, you're audible.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. Honestly, I didn't feel good at all about the routing. It was really, really messy. Double dipping both Eastern and Pod. It was pretty rough.
Well, fortunately, Shady did double dip those as well. I think the big thing that you had that Shady was missing was right at the beginning of the seed. You turned in the mushroom, and Shady didn't. So you had the glove, which meant you had Dark World access earlier than Shady did. Was there anything you wanted to say about the seed in particular?
Nice boots, I guess. I really like those boots.
I'm glad we found them at least. It could have been like an hour and a half earlier though,
but... Yeah. Honestly, it was pretty nice that I found the boots, because my Ganon 1-1 is not good without them. Like, I don't know the easy way with the hookshot. I just know the boot dashes. So I guess that saved some time for me.
Yeah, your Ganon was really nice. It was a really good fight.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting seed, especially early on. We had a few moments like when we found Shovel on Zora and then Flippers on the dig spot. We weren't sure how long it was going to be until you found that. I thought Shady might have been able to make a pretty early difference early on when he didn't get the gloves really early. But he also decided to enter Eastern Pod, and you were in Swamp around the same time. So at that point, I was like, well, it's pretty even on, but it was pretty even, but you had bombos, and that turned out to make the difference in the latter half of the seed. And with that, Shady also finishes the seed, 139. Put some GGs in chat. It was a really nice race.
The other bow. The other bow was on the pedestal.
Oh wow!
Oh, nice. I was actually really scared when I died in Skull Woods, and then when I went up the mountain, I found absolutely nothing. That's why I dipped into Eastern Pod. It was like kind of like a gamble because we didn't really have that many things to check. And if there was like something in Skull Woods, I probably lost. So that's why I made like the decision to go to Pod Eastern. But yeah, luckily like the bow was in a really bad spot, so it was good for me.
I think that was 100% the right choice to say, well, if it's here, I've already lost. It's not really worth my time to lag behind.
And we're joined by Shady as well. And GG's, nice run.
Hello, GG. GG, TwoC.
GG, Shady.
So first of all, very nice redemption on the Molder bounce.
Thank you.
First try.
I believe I got a first try in the last race as well. Just happened to be third climb.
True. Very true. Yeah, it was a really interesting race to watch. Lots of the decisions that ended up like converging into the same spot. But yeah, you both probably talked about the seed already a little bit post-game chat. So
Yeah, I knew as I was playing I was losing the whole way through. Ever since I dipped Eastern and then immediately went and got the gloves in the Witch instead. That's like pretty much done this as bad as I can in the light world. And then I did Pod and there's nothing there. And I go to Swamp, but that's kind of par for the course. And then once I find bombos on Hobo, which you can easily get earlier, then I basically know I'm going to lose by probably 10 minutes. And I think the reason I only lost by less is because TwoC apparently did some of the double dips as well, so he didn't find the god route either. I don't think either of us did. But I think I found the worst possible route, really, the worst reasonable route.
yeah, there were definitely a lot of decisions that just didn't pan out with the overworld clears, and like once you found then Fire Rod and Ice and then went into Turtle Rock, it was no way not to go into that course.
Yeah, maybe when I found bombos I shouldn't have carried on to the pyramid. I wasn't really sure whether to carry on and do the other overworld checks, but I probably should have skipped them out, and I probably should have gone straight to the boss in Mire as well, instead of checking the right side chests. And then just gambled on the bow being in Turtle Rock, like where it usually is. So I knew the bow was going to be in Turtle Rock. We all knew the bow was going to be in Turtle Rock, so I should have just kind of rushed there faster. Skipped Iced Tea as well, maybe. Just do the obvious bits in those other dungeons and rush Turtle Rock.
Yeah, we did. The only thing I could say about like not doing Pyramid is that you can combine it with Pyramid Fairy, because Ice was the other 5/6 crystal.
Yeah, I only thought of that afterwards, so that was a bit of a mistake as well.
But other than that, I don't think you made like unreasonable decisions. I thought like we were a little confused about Pod over Swamp, considering you had everything for it. Maybe following the shovel into Flippers from Zora. But
Pod's crystal, like in Swamp's Pendant, I don't want to be dipping Swamp unless... Like, I like going into Pod, and I kind of stand by that decision here, and it just didn't work out. Because you kind of have to clear the front. Like, obviously it's worst case scenario because the big key's right at the front as well. But normally you have to clear all the items anyway, so you're only really wasting the overworld time. But I don't know, I feel like it's better to do that than to gamble that something's in Swamp, and it might be bad. You also don't know whether to do left side Swamp when it's so early in the seed.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's obviously like pros and cons to every decision that you make, and I don't think there were like any strictly bad decisions that don't have like an argument for them. So It's just the way Rando pans out at times, but it was a really nice race, and yeah, at least no huge disasters. So that was really nice to watch.
At least there's two things I got that make me happy. So I got the first try Mulder mounts, and I got the no boots spooky. That was my first try YOLOing it. So,
So very nice.
Oh,
so
yeah, nice.
that's me happy.
Wait, how can you get it? With Ice Rod or?
I use the
Like
ice rod. I
the-
think you can use a couple of different
Okay.
things.
Yeah, I
Fire
think I
Rod
know
also works.
Silver's. Oh, Fire Rod as well. Okay, gotcha.
I think the timing's a bit tighter with the fire rod, so because the ice rod kind of moves a bit slower, so
Yeah,
I think it feels
exactly.
more generous. Eri, you
I see.
used the bow to do no boot spooky the last race I saw, I think.
Yeah.
I wish I had a bow.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, that seemed to be the struggle, didn't it? Did you see where the other one was, Shady?
I saw it at the end just before I hopped in the call.
Yeah.
And the Triforce text as well. I think it said,
Brilliant.
"Did you like that bow placement?"
Yeah, sure did.
Yep.
So yeah, do you already have your next matches scheduled?
It is
Tomorrow.
tomorrow at, is it 9 p.m. Central Europe time?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So either 3 p.m. Eastern or 2 p.m. One of the two.
For
Right.
that would be 8. I think it's 3 p.m. Eastern on
Okay.
Monday.
Right.
And if there's a game 3, then it'll be on Wednesday at the same time.
All right, excellent. We'll be looking forward to that. But yeah, TwoC is definitely shaping up to have 2 upsets at this rate. First, the 2-0 over the first seed, and yeah, now 1 ahead against the second seed. So you're doing great.
I
feel
have I just have the group stage buff. I don't know. SG Live was the same thing. For some reason, I did really well in groups.
I don't feel like
cannot
there's a whole
complain.
lot of difference between the 4 runners in this group anyway, so I don't really feel like any results are an upset.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just the way the qualifier shaped out, right? It's between the 128 runners in this tournament, there's going to be very few, like, huge differences. But it's yeah, still nice results so far. Yeah, really looking forward to the races that are coming up then, at least tomorrow and maybe on Wednesday. You have anything else to add, either the 2 camps or the runners?
Just GG to Shady. I'll see you tomorrow. And
Yeah, good luck tomorrow, dude.
Yep. And thank you for commentating, guys, tracking and restreaming.
Yeah,
Thanks for the
thanks so
game.
much for
It was a lot of
thanks
fun
so
to
much for covering it. Really appreciate you hopping in to talk while we play.
Yeah, always a lot of fun. Thanks to D2 Camps for joining me.
And thank you to Aurora.
So I guess we have to. Somebody probably knows what other races are coming up. I think there was some things in chat about it. But be sure to follow the SpeedGaming and ALTTPR Randomizer channels, and yeah, be sure to watch the other races.
I think there's a race coming up immediately after this on this channel, Top Life against Zelga.
Yeah,
So I think that's one to watch for sure.
Yeah, approximately 12 minutes. So stick around, and it should be a great race as well.
Anything else you wanted to add, Aurora?
No, for coming with me, and it was a great one.
Yeah, and thank you everyone for watching.